KATC Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, here we are at the middle of the week and enhanced storms across the area today. Tomorrow, still the risk of storms with rain chances edging downward. And then Friday looks to be the dry day, also the hot day as well. More on that in just a bit. And then the weekend, scattered storms return, and then the tropics could be perking up in about a week. More on that in a bit as well. So let's take a look at the big picture as we look at the enhanced satellite imagery across the Gulf South. And you can see how storms enhanced with this frontal system that is sagging southward along the coast. And we already had a little bit of a boundary across southeast Louisiana earlier today that was moving northward, and then it met up with the frontal boundary moving to the south. So you had these locally very intense thunderstorms. Fortunately, no reports of severe weather locally. There were some downburst winds gusting maybe up to 40, 50 miles an hour in spots. Certainly got a report of that over by Cameron, and things have been quieting down locally, but still some pretty hefty storms over by H-Town, Houston. Those storms are, though, beginning to weaken, and it looks like that trend will continue for the rest of the Bayou State as well as we head into the overnight hours. On the Doppler radar at this hour, you can see most of the showers and storms over by Galveston County, southeast Texas, southwest Louisiana. Here's a 12-hour loop of all the action earlier today. You can see how those storms built northward, and they had a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning, torrential downpours of anywhere between 1 to 2 inches in about a half hour. Some spots catching 3 to 4 to up to 5 to 6 inches across portions of St. Mary Parish today. But fortunately, no major reports of major flooding, although there was some street flooding. Still some shower activity around and about. We're seeing that still around the Turkey Creek area, northern Evangeline Parish, up through just south of the LeCounte area. This activity dropping southward, but also weakening. But can't rule out some isolated showers overnight tonight with that frontal boundary in the area, and still lingering rain shower activity after some real strong storms across Cameron Parish from Grand Chenier back through Cameron over to Holly and Johnson Beach as well. So as we look ahead at the forecast, don't get kind of fooled by this. It's not really a cold front. It's just a frontal boundary. It's just separating drier, more stable air to more unstable air. But right along this boundary, sometimes you'll see storms firing up. There's a little extra lift with daytime heating, and that's what we should see tomorrow afternoon. The HRRR model, not as aggressive on thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon, but we're going to go 40% I-10 quarter on southward, and then activity quiets down tomorrow night. And as we head into Friday, it looks like drier air with the storms mostly offshore. But I'm going to show you a different model, the NAM model, 3-kilometer model. It's quiet through tomorrow, but then in the afternoon, it's a little bit more active with showers and thunderstorms, again along the I-10 corridor. So this is 50, 60%. The other model I showed you 20, 30%, so that's why we'll split the difference at 40%. So I don't think it's going to be this active, but somewhere between the two models will lie the truth ultimately. And then going into Friday, I think it's going to be drier than what this model is indicating. Notice the temperatures. What the heck? Way up here in the mid to upper 90s. I think we will see mid 90s with mostly a north wind across the area, but I don't think we're going to see much storm activity. I got rain chance Friday at about 10%. We'll track the trends on these models though, and that might change in a day or two. But notice the European model, the normally more accurate model, is starting to dry us out starting tomorrow. We get into that blue. That is nice and dry air, so that should knock down rain chances through Friday. Then the weekend, scattered showers and thunder showers are turning as the moisture moves back to the north. Then as we go into early next week, we're going to be watching the possibility of a tropical wave. Both the European model and the GFS model bring a tropical wave into the Gulf of Mexico. Today, the Euro a little bit more organized with a potential tropical system. We can't tell you what, but it looks like it may be a threat anywhere from Texas to Florida. Mainly a rain situation for now, but it could be something a little more. Oops, I didn't want to hit that button, but going out 10 days, you can't trust this part of the forecast model. Bottom line, though, tropics may be getting a little bit more active as we get into next week in the Gulf of Mexico. So lingering showers ending tonight after midnight for the most part. High humidity out there. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s tonight. We'll favor lower 90s tomorrow. We'll call it partly sunny, not quite as hot, and those heat indices should be somewhat lower. Scattered mainly afternoon storms. Highest chances coastal parishes, I-10 on southward. Rain chance will go for now at about 40%. As we head into Friday, I think that's the dry and hot day, and we may beat that 95 degrees for sure. Then into the weekend, rain chances returning. Good chance of showers and storms Sunday, Monday, but more garden variety activity. Tropical showers and thunder showers. Typical summer scenario next week, and then we'll wait and see what may occur toward the end of next week. We could have something of interest to talk about, but write that it's just something of interest and nothing concrete, and we'll keep an eye on the tropics as we always do this time of year.
Yeah.
Again, kind of a busy time of year.
But you made that noise.
Yeah, well, okay. I kind of hate going into September and October. It's always it always gets busy, no matter what the forecast says.
All right, thanks, Rob.